Hello. You may have heard that humidity is really important and an essential part of good orchid care, and that is true. Humidity is so important because on the underside of the orchid leaves are little tiny openings called stomata, and they open up and they allow for the exchange between carbon dioxide and oxygen, and it's also where water escapes during this process, and the orchid needs to be able to reabsorb humidity so that the orchid doesn't dry out. So let's talk about some do's and don'ts and some really easy ways to implement adding humidity into your orchid care. First off, I'm going to show you some humidity trays. So all this is, it's a little container, a little tray right here, and it has gravel in it. And then I have a little piece of egg crate. And in this egg crate, the orchid can really easily sit above the water line while still providing water in the air around the orchid. Here's another humidity tray. So I just took out this tray, this little container. It's kind of a little storage container that I just got at the dollar store. And then on top of inside the container, I have more egg crate. So there's just water in there, and then the orchid sits on top, and the pot does not touch the water line. So that adds humidity. And then I have another one over here that I want to show you. This is a doggy tray with a baking cooling rack on top. Super easy way to add humidity. And lastly, here is a traditional humidifier right here, and I like that. And then right here I have a humidistat, and it's just clipped on. I recommend every orchid grower gets at least one humidistat. I also have this humidistat right here, and I love this one. It's a Govee, and it links to my phone, so I can just check the app, the Govee app on my phone, and it tells me what my humidity levels are. So I would say do provide humidity for your orchid. You can do it with a humidity tray. You can do it with a humidifier. You can do it just by watering your orchids. That adds humidity. And then I would also say for sure get a humidistat if you don't already have one. It's so helpful to be able to track. With the Govee app that I showed you, I can track my humidity levels like for a year. So I can look at it by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year. So it's really helpful. And then I would also say for sure use a fan. The fan helps distribute the water in the air. It keeps bacteria and fungus from growing on your orchids, and it also helps to regulate the temperature on your orchids' leaves and keeps them from burning. So if you want to grow healthier orchids, for sure use humidity. And one last tip is if you are growing your orchids in your house, then you want the humidity not to go around 50% because it can also be damaging for your drywall. So if you have orchids in the home, 50% humidity, use a humidistat, use a humidifier or a humidity tray, and a fan. Those are my tips for using humidity to grow more beautiful orchids.